So right away, they fake the ball to Tofield and come out throwing the ball, trying to give Sieber a little confidence, as they know they will have to throw the ball tonight. They pick up 4 on first down.
Well, Darrell, what they want to try to do, they had man-on-man coverage with Kenny Albritton, and he was one-on-one. They ran a little hitch pattern, and Albritton made a good move, but a nice defensive play by Brian Deemer prevented him from making a long gain.
And Amite has a lot of speed on defense, will match the speed of this Independence offense. Everybody in tight except for Williams to the top side, high backfield. They will turn and hand to Tofield. He's got a little seam to the outside, closed down quickly there by the Amite defense. Number 26 is Chris Gordon, and he come from the outside and made the tackle. Also number 8, Dedrick Butler.
That's just the lead draw off tackle, the bread and butter play for Independence. And Amite right there, good tackle right there by Brumfield as he came up from his strong safety position making the tackle. So it brings up 3rd down and 2.
And we talked about it before the game. A team that can stay in 3rd and short will have a lot of success tonight. 3rd and 2, and they're in a good position here. Antron Sieber, the quarterback, shuffling around his lineman as he calls out the signals. And there's a flag right there, and I believe we're going to get an illegal procedure. So the first mistake of the ball game, first penalty by the Independence Tigers offense, as they went in a set position and then moved. So it will push them back and bring up a 3rd and 8. So after coming out with excellent field position, they kind of stumble a little bit and bring up a 3rd and long. The Tigers now bringing in different personnel, might have to go to the air here on 3rd and 8 at the 50-yard line. 10:55 to go here in the first quarter. We have no score. The big kickoff return by LeBrandon Tofield sets them up at about midfield. So 3rd down and 8. They will have one receiver to the high side, which is Williams. Albritton down to the low. Tofield the lone setback. Sieber turns. He's going to roll to the left, got a lot of room, throws the ball on the line to Williams, and a beautiful throw. And we saw him make that throw a lot of times against Kentwood, just a simple out pattern to Williams, and that got him back in the ball game late.
And right there, you don't put any pressure on Antron Sieber, he'll eat you alive. And Amite not getting any pressure right there, and Williams ran a 10-yard out pattern for the first down, and he picked it up, and great throw, great catch, and a first down for the Tigers. They're looking good early, Darrell, throwing the ball.
The defense has been there every play, but so far they picked up one first down and have the ball down at the 36-yard line. Split receivers to each side. One man comes in motion. Tofield the lone setback. They will turn and hand it to him off the right tackle. He cuts back up inside, and he'll pick up about 6 yards there. And it's going to be hard for Independence to not want to give him the ball almost every play. He's that good, but the defensive line and the linebackers from Amite are just as tough as they close the hole quickly, but he picked up a positive 5 or 6 yards there.
Well, they did, Darrell, and like you say, they like to run in between the tackles with Tofield and just kind of nickel and dime you to death, and then hopefully he breaks a big one.
Well, if he gets the ball enough, we've seen him time after time, he can break them, has the ability. They will hand it up the middle to Tofield again. He's hit hard in the backfield and carries number 20, Carlos Burns, down close to the first down. We'll have to see the spot on this one. He's going to be very close on that 2nd down run. And the key to Tofield was, we saw in the Kentwood game, is he came up with some cramps. He's been kind of hindered by a few injuries here. You couldn't tell it by his stats so far. He's over 1,000 yards, has 19 touchdowns in 5 ball games, and he is their main guy. As we will get a measurement here. Amite right now a little bit back on their heels, but look for them to step up. They have a great defense. We watched them play against Opelousas. We saw them against Kentwood in the early game there at the Jamboree, and they have a hard-hitting defense, and it will come up about a half-yard short, so the power package will come in for Independence on 3rd and about 1, a short one. Amite's got to step up here. You're on hostile territory. You've lost the last 2 meetings, 95, 23-22, and last year 28-13. So Independence comes in on a 2-game winning streak against this Amite club.
Well, yes, they do, Darrell, and Amite's got to be feeling a little down after 2 consecutive years getting beat by Independence. But 9:24 to go, no score. Independence just methodically moving the chains. No big plays, just playing it kind of safe to the belt.
And we look for them to run to the right side behind Mulkey and Josh Day, and also the tight end, number 80, Quentin Weatherford. They've had some success to the right, so look for Tofield off the right tackle here. But it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he will get it there as he crosses over the 25-yard line. That will pick up the first down. So Amite has allowed 2 first downs here early. Independence knocking at the door as Tofield has carried most of the load so far, but a couple of nice completions by Antron Sieber, and they're going to need that tonight. They're going to have to mix up their package. They're not going to be able to run every play.
Well, that's a very good point, Darrell. Independence, you know, mostly noted as a running team until this year with Sieber having such a good, strong arm and good awareness. He has done a good job of throwing the ball. Once again, Independence penalty delay of game, so that's going to back them up 5 yards. And so far, the penalties have helped Amite.
I believe that was going to be an illegal motion, as if one lineman went down and set and then raised up out of his stance there, and the back judge called it, so that'll back him up to the 30-yard line. So Independence first down and 15 from the 25. We're at 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. There is no score. Initial possession by the Tigers, and they are driving. 2 wide receivers in the ball game. Lionel Joseph to the top, Albritton to the bottom. He's looking to the out pattern to Albritton. Good completion, single man to beat. He cuts inside, will be dragged down at about the 14-yard line. So they're throwing some high percentage passes with Sieber right now and just putting Albritton in one-on-one man-to-man with the defensive back, and he's making something happen for them so far as they get another first down to the 14-yard line.
Well, what's happening is Amite's defensive backs are so far off the line that they're giving them the out route, not wanting to get beat deep, and Independence is taking advantage of it.
And you have to respect the speed of Kenny Albritton. We've seen him make a lot of big plays down the field. But also the safeties are coming up trying to be aware of LeBrandon Tofield. And he will hand off the left side. Big block there by Mulkey, and he's going to score, folks. LeBrandon, the real deal Tofield, gets him on the board first. And Independence jumps out to a 6-0 lead. And Mulkey pulled and made a great crackback block on the outside on the linebacker. And Tofield did all the rest.
And Darrell, that hole was big enough that me and you could run through. And what a great start for the Independence Tigers. Amite not doing that bad of a job defensively. I mean, they didn't give up the big play, but they let Independence march down the field and score on them. So Quentin Weatherford will be in to attempt the PAT as Independence takes a 6-0 lead with 8:14 to go in the first quarter. And Weatherford is good. So with 8:14 to go in the first quarter, Independence leads 7-0. Tonight's game being brought to you by Big Daddy's Fried Chicken, located at Highway 51 next to the Exxon station. Chicken dinners or buckets, home-style onion rings, fried okra, corn on the cob, apple pies, spicy fries, stuffed jalapenos, nugget dinners, fish, shrimp, oyster dinners, seafood platter, hamburgers, po' boys, muffaladas, barbecue rib dinners. And also they have those delicious deep-fried turkeys. Get your order in early because, folks, they go quick for Thanksgiving and all your holiday occasions. That's Big Daddy's Fried Chicken.
And also Fidelity Finance of Hammond. Fidelity Finance is located at 118 North Cate Avenue in downtown Hammond. They are locally owned and operated. Stop by our office or call us at 429-8000 for all your money needs. Also, Paul's Pharmacy of Independence. Paul's Pharmacy is owned and operated by Paul and Francis Dernan. They accept most major health plans and offer patient counseling and have computerized prescriptions. They are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. Team up with the winner because at Paul's, we care about you and your health. So Independence jumps on the board early here with a 7-0 lead as Sieber kicks off. Low line drive kick deep will be fielded at the 4-yard line by number 8, Dedrick Butler. Brings it up the middle, a little hole there, and tackled down hard by number 46, Lionel Joseph, at about the 29-yard line. So Amite, not a bad run back, but not quite the field position Independence had. So you come out and you drop down by 7, your first possession on offense. It looks like they may go up with a little hurry-up offense here as they come straight to the line of scrimmage. And number 9, Brandon Wagner, the sophomore, came in last week and did a fine job in the second half, will lead this team. C.J. Baptiste in the backfield. And this looks like they're going to play the clock game, try to shorten this game and limit the number of possessions by waiting to the last minute to go to the line. But from our understanding, Amite will have the 3-headed monster quarterback. They're going to use 3 different quarterbacks tonight. The speed play to the outside, and they hand it off up the middle, and he will pick up about 2 yards. And without big number 90, Antoine Courtney, on the middle of the line, it looks like Amite may want to test him early and see if somebody can step up and stop the run.
And this is something Amite has not done. They're going to a hurry-up offense, and they're getting a play in from the sideline to try to see what kind of defense Independence sets up in, Darrell, and then take advantage of it.
And what this also does is limit the number of personnel changes Independence can make on defense. So they are playing the clock game and a little mind game here early. So Wagner under center. Terrell goes in motion. They pitch to Baptiste, gets to the outside, got a little seam, and will get about 9 yards. And we watched this young man last week. He's a slasher and has a lot of speed, a very good running back in his own right.
Yeah, he certainly is. Only a sophomore, Darrell. He does a very good job. He consistently keeps pumping his leg, and he's very hard-nosed. It's very important at Amite to get a first down here, Darrell. You don't want to go 3 and out.
But they have 3rd and short, and that's something they were unable to do last week. They kept putting themselves in 3rd long tonight, 3rd and 1 on the first series. So a good job by the Amite offense. Wagner, the sophomore, is the quarterback, and they have no running backs here. They bring Baptiste in as a quarterback keeper, and he's hit at the line, and I'm not sure if he got it there, folks. A lot of penetration. Number 57, Antoine Smith. Mulkey was there. Number 63, Nathan Hatfield, all in the backfield, and looks like he did get it on the quarterback keeper there. So you got a good spot by the official, and they pick up the first down. Very good job by the Amite offense, and they're still in the hurry up here with Wagner at quarterback. 6:39 to go in the first quarter. They're down 7 as they trot in number 20 onto the field. That's Carlos Burns, and now they will go back in the huddle. So Amite comes out, takes the crowd out of it a little bit, gets a first down.
And a very good strategy for Coach Carrier, doing a little something different tonight to offset Independence.
And Independence stacking up the middle of the line. They turn, and he's got back to pass. Got a man open deep, but he goes over the middle and completes it to number 20, Carlos Burns, for about a 18-yard pickup down to the 43-yard line of the Tigers. So Amite as well as Independence showing they can complete some passes. Had he looked up, had a man streaking down the right sideline wide open, but completes the pass nevertheless.
And Donald Carrier hates to play players both ways, and Carlos Burns, his outside linebacker, the fastest man on the team, getting him in on the offense, and the young sophomore Wagner has done a good job, Darrell.
As he did last week. We saw him throw the corner pattern for a touchdown last week, so we know with time he can put it on the money, but with them running the ball, it's gonna give him time when they do decide to throw. So it's very important they get the running game going. First down at the 43 of the Tigers. 33 comes in motion. They hand off to Baptiste. He's dragging 2 people down at about the 35-yard line. And there wasn't small people there. Big Don Drake had hold of him, and he was just walking down the field, keeping those legs moving.
And if you're an Amite fan, Darrell, you got to be kind of upset after what happened, but you got to be excited because your offense hadn't done that great this year, and they're coming out against the number 2 team in the state and doing a good job thus far.
Ball possession the key for both teams on offense, as we know both these defenses are very good. Wagner comes again. He's dropping back. He's looking to pass. Throws down the sideline. Good coverage by Albritton, but they're going to call him for pass interference as he stuck out the left arm and held the man as he knocked the ball away with his right hand. So I think they're going to get pass interference at about the 17-yard line, giving Amite another first down, and they're threatening here with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And Darrell, that was an outstanding defensive play by Kenny Albritton, and not a bad pass by Wagner. Just broken up at the last minute by Albritton. So both teams pulling out all the stops, and Amite's trying to answer back, Darrell.
And from our vantage point, didn't look like he held him, but he did have the left arm on him, and that's a no-no and got called for it. So it gives the Warriors a first down at about the 18-yard line, excuse me, the 20-yard line. And they are taking a little more time off the clock here. Wagner looking at the sideline, waiting for the signal to go. So I think both teams have mixed in the pass well here early in the first quarter. Amite at the door, 20-yard line. They will hand the ball off the right side, and he's hit hard down at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle there by Charles Tofield, as that was number 30 in motion, got the ball, C.J. Baptiste, and they were waiting for that one.
Yeah, the old bread and butter play by Amite that Donald Carrier used early in his career, the old speed play, and I think Independence has pretty much caught on to that. Early on, it caught a lot of people off guard, but Independence is well prepared for that play because it's hurt them. It used to hurt them.
So second down and a long 9 They will pitch the ball to Batiste. He's got a hole, cuts up the middle. He's going to score, folks. And it is 7-6 as Amite answers right away. And we could be in for a barn burner here tonight if both teams are going to mix it up and move the ball as they have. Might be the last team with the ball wins, Marty.
And, Darrell, I was expecting a defensive battle, but thus far, both offenses have really showed up, and that's got to be big for Amite, Darrell, responding like that.
And you're on the road here, but I got to tell you something. These guys are road warriors. They went on the road to South Pike and won, went to St. James and won, and that's no easy task. So number 43, Damian Thompson, lines up to kick the extra point, and it's going to be good. And they tie the score with 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Amite 7, Independence 7. We'd like to mention one of our sponsors, Bond Eye Clinic of Amite. Formerly Amite Optical, Bond Eye Clinic is located at 105 Southeast Central in downtown Amite. They specialize in eye exams for glasses and contacts, treatment of ocular disease, consultations for cataract and refractive surgery, and eye emergencies. Go by and see Dr. Hunter Bond for any of your visual needs. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and open evening hours on Thursday. Also, Friendly Hardware of Independence. Come by Friendly Hardware and let Andrew, Joe, or Lynette help you with all your hardware needs. They carry a full supply of plumbing, electrical, carpentry supplies, and anything you might need. Open 7 days a week in downtown Independence. Also, they're stocking a lot of items for Christmas, so go by and check them out there at Friendly Hardware in downtown Independence. So number 40, Adrian Harris, will line up to kick off for Amite as both teams have taken the opening possession and drive down and punched it in with their two big players, C.J. Batiste and LeBrandon Tofield, carrying the load on offense. So Harris will put the ball in the air, and it is a nice high kick. Tofield will field it at the 4. Comes up the middle, cuts to the right side, got one man to beat to get to the corner, and he's getting it out, runs over a man, out to the 43-yard line. And we talk about the speed and the moves of Tofield, and you forget this kid is 6'1", over 200 pounds, and can run over you too.
And Darrell, they've got to keep the ball away from him. What power right there as he just ran over a would-be Amite tackler, and that's not a good sign for Amite on the kickoff. They got to do something to keep the ball away from him.
Either they're going to have to kick it to somebody else, or they're going to have to go down and get a little bit better tackling there, as Independence has started over 40-plus yard line both possessions here. So first down and 10 from the 44. Williams will be to the high side and Albritton to the low. Tofield the lone setback. Sieber looks over to the defense. He turns and he will fake the ball to Tofield. He's running right. He's going to keep her a nice block out there as he gets to the outside and out at the 43-yard line. And that was number 31, Phil DiMaggio, the wide receiver, a senior wide receiver who made a great block, allowing Sieber to get to the outside and picked up a big first down.
And that's just a good offensive play by Sieber. I think it was a pass, but he didn't have an open receiver, and he tucked it over, and he made a nice, smart move, picking up the first down.
And once again, Sieber runs out of bounds. He's a slender fella, and they don't want to see him taking any licks. So a good job getting the first down, getting out of bounds. As the ball rests at the Amite 43 with 4:07 to go in the first quarter, we're tied at 7. Tofield, the lone setback. They will turn, this time fake it to him once again. Sieber rolls, nice throw to Albritton right in the chest. He breaks a tackle and will be down at the 26-yard line. So on the out pattern, Sieber has been perfect so far, putting the ball right in the chest of the receiver.
He certainly has, and he is doing an outstanding job. And Kenny Albritton's doing a great job, running great routes. And Darrell, we expected him to go to Tofield, but what they're doing is they're setting up the run via the pass.
And when you have the threat of the LeBrandon Tofield, you've got to change your defense a little bit, and it's going to allow some receivers to get open. The question was, could Independence get to them? And so far in this first quarter, they have. Same setup as two wide receivers. This time they will hand to Tofield. Mulkey makes a block. He cuts through the middle, flag down, only picks up about 3, and looks like it's going to be in the area of holding. And that is going to be the call, holding against Independence, and that will back them up a little bit as the first down play only went for about 3 to 4, so it's Tofield pass, mixing up very well on the Independence sideline. They're doing a good job, but that's their 3rd penalty here in the first half. And Amite, actually that's their 4th penalty here. They've had 1 interference and 2 illegal procedures and now a holding. So although the game is 7-7, Independence making a few more mistakes here early. The Amite Warrior defense led by number 45, Lendrick Francois, the big middle linebacker. And he's quite a man. We saw him last week. He was all over the field. So 1st and 20. They hand to Tofield up the middle. He's got a big seam. He's gone down to the 10-yard line. And LeBrandon Tofield showing the speed and the power on the same run there.
And that's just a draw play, a beautiful call. And you give it to the big guy, and he busted up the gut, picking up the first down. And so far, Darrell, both offensive coaches have done a great job of play calling. And Amite, to be quite honest, can't figure out a way to stop Independence.
Well, that's what will happen when you can complete a couple of passes, as Seaver has done. It stretches the defense out a little bit, and LeBrandon Tofield doesn't need much. So they're going to the big backfield with Mulkey and number 4, Keith McLean, lining up, a linebacker and a lineman as the 2 up-backs in the power package. They hand to Tofield, cuts up the seam, picks up about 4 or 5 yards, and will bring up 2nd down. And they can get a first down without scoring here as he picks up 4 or 5. So right now they just want to blow Amite off the line, try to punch this one in, and is trying to establish something up front. And we said whoever could win the battle up front would win this game. Right now it's going back and forth.
No doubt about it. Both offenses have kind of controlled this game, but I'm going to tell you what, Darrell, offensively, Independence has not missed a beat.
Aside from a couple of penalties, they have been picture perfect so far as they are threatening once again. Only 2:15 to go here in the first quarter. Power package once again. Hands to Tofield to the left side. He's hit at the line and brought down for a 1-yard gain. So this time Amite ready for it, and that was number 75, Romulus Dixon. He's quite a man in the inside there. You just don't move him around too often.
No, you don't, Darrell. The young man goes 6'2", 245, and he's a load, as we saw last week, as he lived in Opelousas' backfield. So it brings up 3rd down and 5, and I would think that this is 2-down territory.
Oh, without a doubt here, they're back in the power package once again on 3rd and 5. Watch maybe number 80, the tight end, Quentin Weatherford, slipping out in the flat there as they think run. They fake it to him. Seaver rolls right. It was strictly a quarterback run and snuffed out by number 22, Alfred Brumfield. And that play didn't fool anyone as Seaver tried to roll to the outside on the bootleg, and there was nothing there. So it looks like as they lose about 2 yards on the play, 4th and 8, they're going to have to go for the field goal here. And neither of these teams so far early in the season have had to rely much on the field goal. They pretty much scored at will on most of the teams they played. So we'll have to see if the kicking game becomes big here. Quentin Weatherford, number 80, lines up to kick the extra point. He's a senior. Into hole 32. That's Williams. 24-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is right down the pipe. So Independence on the second possession scores to take a 10-7 lead with 42 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ragusa Building Supply of Independence is located conveniently in downtown Independence and has all of your plumbing, electrical, and construction supplies. Come by and see Charles Ragusa for all your hardware needs. Also, Brumfield Ford of Amite is having a huge tent sale. Come by and make your own deal. Choose from the different things that they offer, like a 100,000-mile extended warranty, or take the money off the manufacturer's suggested retail price, or buy one used car and get another matching used car for just $1. These are just some of the great deals you'll get at Brumfield. Also, the 98 Fords are just arriving, so go by Brumfield and see them. Also, Corona's Bakery of Hammond has a wonderful line of wedding cakes for that special day in your life. They also have specialty cakes, oven-fresh, delicious bread, tasty cookies, mouth-watering pastries. They serve lunch daily from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with delicious po' boys. They also provide balloon bouquets for any special occasion. Go by Corona's on Market Street in Hammond and make your taste buds happy. Line drive kick fielded by number 1, Buckles. He takes it up the middle, hit down at the 42, so not a very good kick by Seaver as he got a line drive, and Amite gets good field position out at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
So Amite opens up in good field position, Darrell, and so far this game has been pretty much close to the vest. And both teams' offensives have looked good. So Darrell, it's going to take somebody's defense to make a stand here and set the tone.
Well, you always wonder about who's going to make the first big mistake, the first big turnover, and it's up to one of these two defenses to step up and do that right now. Either that or when you see them going into halftime, the coaches will make the proper adjustments. So we're in for one fine ball game here tonight. Amite working a little bit on the clock here. As they take their time coming to the line, Wagner is still the quarterback. They turn and pitch to Batiste to the right side. They've got a big hole over there, and he will be out about to the 48-yard line, the 46-yard line. So they pick up about 4 yards there. So right now, both offensive lines are doing the job, getting a little separation there from the defense and allowing the running backs to get through the line before they're getting hit.
And Darrell, to be quite honest with you, we followed Amite since Donald Career's been there, and that's the first time they've done that little sweep play. They generally hand it to him, but I think they picked up something, and they've decided to sweep the ball, and that's just a little different in the game plan.
So as the quarter has ticked down, the Tigers lead it 10-7 in this matchup of number 2 and 3 teams in the state. Tonight's game is brought to you by Pete's Pharmacy of Independence. Pete's Pharmacy is your value right agency in Independence, featuring everyday low prices. At Pete's Pharmacy, we have 2 registered pharmacists on duty to give you fast, efficient prescription service. We are completely computerized for tax and insurance records. We accept all third-party insurance and welfare prescriptions. We offer one-day photo processing service, and we have a large selection of greeting cards and sundries. We also feature 24-hour emergency prescription service, so go by and see Pete Armando Sr. or Jr. or call at 878-6321, serving the area since 1970.
And also, we'd like to thank the people that put on the Swamp Romp. That's a nice event with all proceeds going to the United Way. So join and participate in the Swamp Romp coming up in about 2 to 3 weeks.
So 2nd down and 7 for the Warriors. They are at their own 46-yard line. Wagner turns, he fakes, and he's going to fall down and be down as his own man, 44, Kendrick Francois, came in motion, bumped into him, and he went down, so that will lose 2 yards, bringing up 3rd and long, and that's not the situation you want to be in on either offense, as we've seen them struggle in 3rd and longs all year.
And no doubt about it, Amite is not a good 3rd and long team. They like to move the ball, running the ball, and then hit a big play, but when they come down to 3rd and long, they pretty much tell you they're going to pass, and anytime somebody knows you're going to pass, Darrell, they're prepared for it, and it's much harder.
Well, it allows the defense to come in with their dime package, bring in 6 defensive backs, and you'll probably see the 1 linebacker blitz as they try to put the heat on Wagner. As they come out in a tight package here, a little odd here for 3rd and long. They turn and they hand the ball to Adrian Harris, trying to get into their playmaker's hands. And there's a fumble, and the Tigers have it at the 49. So there's that first big turnover we're talking about, and Independence will take over at the Amite 49-yard line.
And we said that it'd be a game of turnovers, and right there, Independence, the big beneficiary of the first turnover. So good job by Independence defense. It wasn't a bad play call. Looks like he had a little opening, but Independence defense comes up with the first turnover of the game, and we said that would be key, and we'll see if Independence is going to cash in on it, Darrell.
And I don't think he would have had the first down there, but it was a nice call. A little bit odd formation there, something different. We haven't seen Amite all that much this year. So Independence comes out. Williams to the bottom of your screen. Albritton to the top side. Tofield is the lone setback. Sieber turns. He will fake to Tofield. Once again, they're going to throw the out route to Williams. Once again, hits him in the chest. And the young man will be down at the 30-yard line. And all they're doing is running down 10 yards and turning around. And Sieber is throwing bullets out there.
No doubt about it. He looks like Kenny Stabler. He hadn't missed a pass, Darrell. I mean, he has just been incredible tonight. As I think, at my count, he's 7 for 7 right now. And if Amite's going to give him that kind of cushion, they're going to keep doing it, and they're going to wave the flag off. I think they were just marking the ball. So that's a first down for Independence.
So Independence has a 10-7 lead, and they have the ball on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, as there's 10:50 to go in the first quarter. And the Tigers' offense is in tune tonight as they have scored on their first 2 possessions and driving once again. Tofield, the lone setback. They've used him a lot as a decoy tonight, but when he's carried, he's been doing well. And they will hand it to him as he goes off tackle there, bounces to the inside, still driving, picks up about 3 hard-earned yards there as the Amite defense steps up, stopped by number 76, Roger Frazier. So they're going to keep mixing it up, and so far, Marty, they have kept Amite off balance.
They certainly have, Daryl. And Amite's defense has done a good job of slowing LeBrandon Tofield down. You're not going to stop him, but they've done a pretty good job of slowing him down. It's just their pass defense. And what I think has to happen is they got to get some pressure on him, Daryl.
And they are going to have to get some pressure, but when you're constantly looking for Tofield to run the ball, you're not just laying your ears back going after him. So Independence so far is mixing it up very well, as we have an equipment problem, I believe. So 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers. And we talked to the coaching staff before the game, and they said that Antron Sieber had to have a big game. So far, he's filling the bill for him, as he has thrown the ball extremely well, a lot of out routes, and he's put the ball right on the money. Albritton to the high side, Lionel Joseph to the low. They will turn, and here we come with a little misdirection play to Tofield, and runs up the back of his own man as he thought he had a seam there. Big number 78, Josh Day, was blocking to the inside, and Tofield just couldn't squeeze through the gap to get to the outside.
And I'll tell you what, Daryl, looks like he had a big lane, but he ran up the back of one of his offensive linemen. Had he not done that, he would have picked up a big chunk of yardage.
So it brings up 3rd down and 5, 9.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. 10-7 ball game as the Tigers have scored on their first 2 possessions and have just picked up a big fumble recovery at midfield, trying to capitalize on it here. Probably in 2-down territory from here on 3rd and 5. They hand it to Tofield. He's going to be hit in the backfield, and they're not going anywhere with that one. As number 20, Carlos Burns, and 26, Chris Gordon, read it immediately and threw him for about a 4-yard loss. So big call here for the Independence Tigers. It's 4th down and 9. Might be a little bit out of field goal range. Looks like they're going to have to go for it here. We'll see Sieber put the ball in the air here. So a big play here. It's hard to say there's a big play this early in the ball game. This could be one if the Amite Warriors can stop them here after that turnover and turn the momentum back in their favor. Packed house here tonight in Independence, and they're all on the edge of their seats for this one. Williams and Albritton, they fake the ball to Tofield. He's trying to get to the outside, pressured, gets away, fires the ball, and it's going to be high over Albritton's head, so the Warriors have stopped them. And I didn't catch the number of the defensive end who made him. Nathan Thomas, we see, was the man who forced him further outside than he wanted to go. He wanted to throw that ball a little bit quicker, so they will take over on offense with 8:23 to go in the first quarter, down 10-7.
And Daryl, Amite's defense has dodged 2 key bullets right there, keeping themselves in the ball game. So good job by the Amite defense stepping up. Offensively, they might want to control the clock a little bit and keep it out of the hands of the high-powered Independence offense. But thus far, Daryl, after the first 2 drives, you got to kind of tip your hat to the Amite defense, bending but not breaking.
And they have contained, they have indeed, as they have held them to a field goal and stopped them on 4th down there on the last 2 possessions. They hand off. No, excuse me there. It's a quarterback keeper, Wagner to the outside, and number 60, Nathan Hatfield, read it and dropped him for a 2-yard loss. So we saw on offense the first 2 series, the Amite offense and the Independence offense basically did what they want, but the defense are starting to make the adjustments here and starting to make some big plays, and it may end up turning out to be a defensive battle as we thought early on. Warriors taking their time, 2nd and 11 at the 28-yard line. And they're trying to make a last-minute adjustment here. Have changed their formation, have a little confusion on the Tigers' defense. They're going to throw it, throwing deep for Harris, and Albritton is there all the way. Well covered by Kenny Albritton as they try to throw the out pattern deep to Adrian Harris, and we saw him last week. If they can get it in his hands, he's a big play guy.
Yes, he is, but they got to. Independence's game plan is to stop Harris from the big play, and they put their best defensive back on him, Kenny Albritton, and done a good job.
And it will bring up another one of those 3rd and long as they have 3rd and 11. 7:33 to go here in the second quarter. And you can't live on offense with 3rd and 11s all night. You're going to have to pick up something on 1st and 2nd down to make it a little easier for your play calling so the defense doesn't know what you're going to come with. So the Tiger defense steps up, and we have a flag there. And this might be the first penalty on the Amite Warriors. We await the call from the referee. It's an illegal substitution by the Warriors. That'll back them up 5 more. Back to about the 23-yard line, bringing up 3rd and 15. So the first mistake there, penalty-wise, by the Warriors of the night. The Tigers desperately need to stop them here to try to get good field position if they have to punt. The Warriors need to pick up the first down or at least get it out of maybe 10 yards so they can play the field position game here. They turn. He's looking to throw. Once again, being pressured deep. He gets away, break it to the outside. And he's going to turn it up to the left and get hit hard out of bounds. And that was awful close to being a hit out of bounds, folks. But a big hit on the quarterback, and the young man Wagner did the right thing, didn't throw the ball up for grabs and just kept it and took the loss, and now they'll have to punt the ball. But a good play by Wagner, even though he didn't make anything happen.
And Brandon Wagner, Darrell, doing an exceptional job in this kind of pressure situation. Only a sophomore coming in, and he seems calm and collected. He's done the job. They've asked him not to make any mistakes, and that's just what he's done.
And we saw in previous games the punting team against Independence has tried to kick the ball away from Kenny Albritton. He has explosive speed in the outside, a lot of moves, a basketball player playing football. A nice high punt. It's going to be getting away from. Albritton takes it off one hop and hit hard down. Nice coverage there by the Warriors. He took a little bit of a gamble, but the Tigers will have it at the 37-yard line. First down and 10 as we have a player down for the Warriors. And he gets up and limps off. So the Tigers come up with their 4th possession with 7:10 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
And once again, Independence comes back on offense, needing to do a good job, as they have done a good job all night long thus far in the first half. If you're Amite, you don't want to fall behind 17-7, Darrell. You want to get out of this half leading, or you want to go in only trailing 10-7.
And so far, they've done a pretty good job on Tofield as he will take the handoff, goes up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage by 45. Lendrick Francois, the great Amite linebacker, and stuffs him for about a 1-yard loss. So right now, Tofield is running definitely in between the tackles and not picking up a lot, except for the big draw play down on the other end. We'll have to see Independence as it is 2nd and long. Try to pick up a few yards here. Look for him maybe to go back to the air, as Sieber has been on target all night, yet has only incompleted 1 pass, and that was on 4th down. So Lionel Joseph to the high side, Williams to the low side. Sieber barking out the signals. Strictly a throw. He's going to roll to the right, throw the out route to Joseph. He fights and picks up about 5 or 6 yards. So what we talked about is not going for the whole bundle, getting yourself in a 3rd and 3 or 4 where you can either run or throw, and Independence does the job there on 2nd down.
And they're executing awfully nice offensively, Darrell, as they're throwing safe passes, rolling Sieber out. He's getting good protection, and he's finding his receivers. So it brings up a 3rd down and 5 for Independence.
They have the ball at the 43-yard line, 3rd and a short 5. They have Albritton to the high side and Williams to the low side. Tofield is the setback. Sieber drops back, strictly a throw, throwing the out route to Williams once again. If he can turn it up, the defender had slipped down, and he gets it down to the 44-yard line, Marty. Had he turned to the outside instead of having to make a complete 360, he might have took that one a long way as the defender had slipped down.
And that's just another great job by that Independence offense of throwing and catching. The receivers seem to be wide open tonight, Darrell.
Well, they keep running the little out pattern to the wide side of the field, and Williams has had the ability so far just to get open, and Sieber's putting the ball right in his chest. He can't help but catch it. Doing a fine job. Same setup, Williams to the short side, Albritton to the high side, Tofield a setback. It's going to be the pitch trying to get to the outside, and stuffed out by number 8, Dedrick Butler. He'll pick up 1 yard, but he was hit behind the line by Butler, broke free there, but only picked up 1. So it just goes to show how hard it is to tackle this young man.
He is a load, very strong and very fast. And he picked up 1. Thus far, the Amite defense is doing a good job of stopping Tofield. They just can't stop the pass. But I think they got to get pressure on Sieber because he's having all night to throw, Darrell.
But if you start trying to send people on blitzes and stuff to stop Sieber, they're going to slip it to Tofield, and you know what can happen when he gets it in his hands. Pretty much the same thing that can happen when C.J. Baptiste gets it. They both are breakaway backs. So 2nd and 9. They're throwing the out route once again to Williams, and he drops this one as it was a little bit to the inside, but it did hit him in the hands, should have been caught. So it will bring up a 3rd and long, so Independence puts themselves in a 3rd and long for once. But that out route has been there all night, but you can see the Warrior DBs starting to sneak up on it a little bit. Look for them to send Albritton on the fly pattern soon as they're setting it up.
Well, they're probably setting up an out and up. What they're going to do is they're going to pump it, and then they're going to throw it deep, and he'd probably be wide open, Darrell.
And the key to that play is you've got to give the quarterback time. And right now, the Warrior defensive line is starting to get penetration against this offensive line of the Tigers. 3rd down and 9 from the 43-yard line of Amite. Sieber drops back. They're coming with a reverse to Albritton. 1 man to get to the outside, and he cuts it back up the middle. And Marty, had he stayed to the outside, there was a lot of acreage over here that he could have crossed, but he cut it back up to the inside and only picks up about 4, and it'll bring up 4th and about 5. And looks like here with only 4.5 minutes to go, they're going to punt this one away and try to pin Amite deep and feel like they can go into halftime because they stop them with a 10-7 lead.
And I think that was an excellent play call by Independence. The way Amite runs to the ball, they figured they could get them going one way and come back the other way with their big play guy, Albritton. But if he'd cut it to the outside, he may have gone.
Trying to take advantage of the Amite pursuit as these young men fly to the football. Weatherford, the punter, plenty of time to get it away, angles it to the left. It's going to hit it about the 3 and roll into the end zone as number 7, Charles Tofield, tried to get it down. So Amite will get the ball at the 20-yard line.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Big Daddy's Fried Chicken, located Highway 51 next to the Exxon station. Chicken dinners or buckets, home-style onion rings, fried okra, corn on the cob, apple pies, spicy fries, stuffed jalapenos, nugget dinners, fish, shrimp, oyster dinners, seafood platters, hamburgers, po' boys, muffalators, barbecue rib dinners, open Thursday through Sunday, and also they got the deep-fried turkeys for Thanksgiving and the drumettes for all special occasions, and those deep-fried turkeys are good. You get your order in early, 878-2131.
Call them up and get your order in early. We had one last year. They were fantastic. Amite hands the ball up the middle there, and not much there as the defensive line, all of them, led by number 4, Keith McLean, just stuffed it up the middle, and that will bring up a 2nd and a long 9 there. So Amite down only 3 with 3.5 minutes to go here, wants to try to get a 1st down or 2, and you got to feel like they, with the turnover there and the way they've stopped Independence on their half of the 50, they'll be happy going in only down 10-7 at this point. They would love to go down and get a score with only 3 minutes left. We will see, and we have Desmond Collins in at quarterback now. He's going to run the option. He's a much better runner. Gets to the outside, breaks it out to the 40, and pulled down by number 4, Keith McLean, the big linebacker, ran him down from behind. So we see something that Collins can do a little better than Wagner. He's got a little more speed and a better runner on the option.
And also, he's a senior. He's been in these pressure situations before, so he knows what pressure's all about. So they did a good, Wagner came in and did a good job, and looks like Collins is healthy, Darrell.
Under 3 minutes, they have the ball at the 43-yard line. That big play there gives Amite a little hope that now maybe they're going to try to go down and score here. Collins, the quarterback, fakes a handoff and then hands it up the middle to C.J. Baptiste, and he's hit hard by big number 70, Derek Hunter, at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Warriors, and that play read big time as he just made a big hit at the line of scrimmage.
He did. He made a great job. Because, Darrell, if Derek Hunter doesn't make that play, C.J. Baptiste has got a lot of real estate. But a good job from his defensive end spot by Derek Hunter.
And they tried with that speed play to get the Independence line to move with it. He stayed at home and made the play, so good job there. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. Collins on the option. Almost taken out of his hands by number 63, Nathan Hatfield, as they tried to run the option before he could get the chance to pitch it. Hatfield was there and almost took it right out of his hands.
And luckily for Amite, Collins was able to hold on to the ball, or that would have been another big turnover, as Hatfield did a good job of interrupting that option play.
3rd down and 7, a minute 45 left here to go in the 2nd quarter. Brings up a 3rd and a long 7 for the Warriors, and they're content now to kind of just let the clock tick. They got the big play. They tried to hurry up. Now 3rd and long. They don't want to leave any time on the clock for the Tigers. So Desmond Collins up to the line, under a minute and a half to go here in the halftime. They will turn and pitch to Batiste to the outside. He juggles the ball, tries to get to the outside, but number 89 is there for the make the hit. That's David Copeland, the defensive end, bringing up about a 4th and 4 for the Warriors, and they will probably punt deep here as the clock is still running down with a minute 9 left to go here in the half. So a well-played first half by both teams, and the Tigers lead it 10-7 as the Warriors will punt here. Number 40, Adrian Harris, the big play wide receiver, is also the punter. Independence wary of a fake here. They have no one back deep. They're content just to let Amite punt it down there. As they stay at the line watching for the fake, and he does punt it away in a beautiful spiral. And the ball rolls into the end zone, so with 36 seconds left to go before the half, Tigers will take over. So 1st down and 10 with only 36 seconds to go. Sieber drops back, hands it up the middle to Tofield. Safe play. If you get a couple of yards, fine. If he can bust one, then you try to score. But I think that will be probably the last play of the first half. They're going to be content to go in here. Clock ticking down under 22 seconds. 10-7, and shows how much I know. They're going to call timeout here with in the first half, and they lead it 10-7.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Fidelity Finance at 118 North Cade Avenue in downtown Hammond. They're locally owned and operated. Stop by our office or call us at 429-8000 for all of your money needs. Also brought to you by Paul's Pharmacy of Independence. Paul's Pharmacy is owned and operated by Paul and Francis Durnan. They accept most major health plans and offer patient counseling and have computerized prescriptions. They are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. Team up with a winner, because at Paul's we care about you and your health. Also, Bond Eye Care Clinic of Amite, formerly Amite Optical. Bond Eye Care Clinic is located at 105 South East Central in downtown Hammond. They specialize in eye exams for glasses and contacts, treatment of ocular disease, consultations for cataract, and reproductive surgery and eye emergency. That's the Bond Eye Clinic of Amite.
Thank you to our friend Dr. Hunter Bond for helping us out getting the game on the air tonight. They will hand to Tofield. He cuts back inside, dragged down for about a 1-yard gain. And Independence playing it close to the vest there as the clock ticks down under 10 seconds. And that will do it for the first half. The Tigers lead this one 10-7. And we will prepare for the halftime show. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be back with the second half just a little bit later.
Gentlemen, Amite High School is very proud to present the Amite High School Warrior Marching Band, Flag Bearer, and College Dance Team for your halftime entertainment. The band is under the field direction of Drum Major Angel Allison. Flag Bearer Captain is Christy Dyson. Wahoo Captain is Carla Williams. Tonight's show will open with the band performing a marching drill to Razor's Edge. perform to the tune Soul Singer as they salute the purple and the gold. Performing to the train with a special surprise for you indie fans. Thank you very much for your attention.
That was the Amite High School Marching Band, and that was a great halftime entertainment. Now coming up will be the Independence High School Marching Band. There you see the Independence Tiger mascot out on the field, the band, and the Tigerettes. So sit back and enjoy our halftime show as the Independence High School Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'd like to congratulate the Independence High School cheerleaders for winning first place. The Award of Excellence for Cheer, Chant, and Dance competition last night at Dixie Motors at the Twist and Shout. Captain Ashley Harrison and the cheerleader of the week, Miss Amanda Durbin.
And we are back to start the second half. Antron Sieber will be set to kick off for the Tigers as Warriors will get first crack. This is Darrell Smith here with merely Marty Morgan and our cameraman, the boss, L.E. Wallace, doing a fine job out here tonight. And a great ball game, 10-7, Tigers lead at halftime as we start the third quarter. So Amite dodged a couple of bullets late in the first quarter and early in the second quarter and then turned it back on. So a great ball game here. Sieber kicks deep and drives him into the end zone, and it will be a touchback, so a good kickoff there by Sieber. The Warriors came out on the first possession and really ran the ball well, mixed in a few passes here and there, and since then nothing, and basically the same thing for Independence, although they did have 9 first downs to Amite's 4 in the first half. Both teams rushed for similar yardage, 85 for Independence, 71 for the Warriors, but Independence threw for 88 yards. The Warriors only had 1 completion for 20 yards, so they had the 1 turnover, but their defense stopped Independence. It's a close ball game, pretty much everything we expected here tonight.
Yes, it was, Darrell, and right now the opening possession of the second half usually dictates how the second half goes, so we're going to see who wins the battle, the defensive Independence or the offensive Amite.
So Collins in at quarterback here. He seemed to run the ball a little bit better than Wagner as they hand off to Baptiste off tackle. He'll pick up about 4 yards. And Amite has gone back to the senior leader here in Desmond Collins and went away from Wagner, but we heard they were going to use both men tonight, and he poses a different threat. He's a better runner than Wagner is.
Well, yes, he is, and he's got that great maturity. He's a senior leadership, so obviously you'd like to have your senior quarterback, although Brandon Wagner did a fine job.
2nd and 6 for the Warriors. Collins surveys the defense. And they hand the ball off to C.J. Baptiste, and he's stuffed at the line by 63, Nathan Hatfield, and also 89, David Copeland. So they're not getting much up the seam, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 5. So this becomes a crucial play early in the second half. As you said, usually the first possession may dictate what happens in the second half. Amite can't pick up the first down here. It'll give Independence great field position. So the Warriors need to come up with something here to pick up the 5 yards. Look for maybe Collins to run the option, try to get to the outside and use his speed. Baptiste is the single back. Francois in the slot will come in motion. And there they go with the option. Collins heads it up the middle and tackled down. And that's Keith McLean, number 4. Big play by the linebacker. So the Tigers come out and step up big on defense and stop the Warriors, and they'll be forced to punt.
And right there, great defense by Independence as Amite stopped themselves. Well, Independence stopped them, and so far in the opening of the third quarter, I'd have to say the advantage goes to Independence as they set the tone early by making Amite go 3 and out.
And we saw early both teams tried to mix in the pass a little bit in 3 straight runs, and the Tigers are ready. So Harris off with the punt, and he's hit some booming punts. This is a beautiful one, fielded at the 25 by Albritton, and definitely a face mask there as Amite will get called there on the face mask. So the Tigers have the ball at the 29. Once the penalty gets added on, we'll end up with pretty good field position here to start the second half. 9:54 to go here in the third quarter. Well, this time we'd like to talk about one of our sponsors, Ragusa's Building Supply of Independence. They're located conveniently in downtown and have all of your plumbing, electrical, and construction supplies. Come by and see Charles Ragusa for all your hardware needs. Also, Brumfield Ford of Amite. They're having a huge tent sale. Go by and make your own deal. They have 5 different things you can choose from: an extended warranty, take money off the sticker price, all kind of great deals down there. Go down and see them at Brumfield and see the new 98 Fords. So the ball will come out to the 44-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Once again, they have the double wide receiver set with Albritton to the top side, Williams to the bottom, Tofield the lone setback. Sieber is your quarterback, drops back, throwing the out route to Albritton. It is open once again. He steps back and is going to lose about 2 or 3 yards from where he had the initial catch. So trying to make something happen, the young man was, but lost a couple of yards on the play.
Well, Kenny Albritton trying a second effort, but he cut it back in the inside where the pursuit was coming, and there, thus far, he lost a little yardage. Had he gone to the outside, he would have picked up more yardage, but nice job by the young man trying to hustle and make something happen.
So instead of gain of 5, they only pick up a long 3 there. He lost a couple of yards. We see 3 or 4 times now the out pattern turn back to the inside. Seems if they could turn it to the outside, they'd pick up a little bit more, but they have completed that pass all night. Lionel Joseph to the wide side at the bottom. Albritton to the top. Sieber looking to throw again. Throws a nice deep slant pattern to Albritton. Completed down to the 30-yard line of the Amite Warriors. And we talked about it the few times we've seen him this year. This young man, Sieber, throws the ball on a line and with a lot of velocity and has been putting it on the money all night.
And also a good job by Kenny Albritton going across the middle, sliding to his knees, making the catch. Once again, Sieber in the passing game looking awfully good, Darrell.
The young man is 9 of 11. Has really been almost flawless tonight. Only made 1 bad throw. They will hand it to Tofield up the middle. He's going to get positive yards, still dragging people. Picks up about 3 yards, hard-earned yards, as the Amite defense steps up big. That's number 20, Carlos Burns. And Marty, we did the game against Opelousas last week, and number 75, Dixon, lived in the backfield tonight. We haven't called his name much. They're doing a pretty good job up front against him.
Well, the offensive line is Independence is giving Sieber time to pass, and if you give him time to pass, he's going to pick you apart.
So 2nd down and 7 from the 27-yard line. Williams to the wide side. Joseph to the top. Strictly the out pass to Williams again. It is open once again. This time he turns it to the outside and picks up an extra 2 or 3 yards and will bring them up to about a 3rd and 2. So a nice play by the offense to get it to 3rd and short where they can... I'm sorry, it's going to be close to the 1st, and they do give it to him. So a good job by the offense there, mixing in the pass, using Tofield strictly as a decoy, because you know they've got to be keying on the young man, but sooner or later they're going to hand it to him. So Independence 1st down and 10 at the 18. Williams to the short side of the field. Lionel Joseph to the high side. Sieber has Tofield, the lone setback behind him, will turn and hand the ball in misdirection. Mulkey leading the play. Big hole for Tofield. Down at about the 7-yard line, and he just used his speed there to pick up about 9 or 10 yards.
And great, a lead draw out to the outside over the left side, and Mulkey leading, picking up close to the 1st down, and they did pick up a 1st down. So, Darrell, offensively, Independence is not missing a beat in the second half.
Well, the first quarter, they came out on 1st down, threw the ball, and then came back with the run. They went away from it in the second quarter, tried to run first, then throw, and it didn't work. So they're back to their original plan here, and it's working once again as they have a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. And once again, Mulkey pulled from his guard position and laid a big block there to open the hole. Sieber looks over the defense. They will turn and hand the ball to Tofield to the right side. He cuts back. Will get it down to about the 2-yard line, and a nice cut back there. Has nowhere to go to the outside. He breaks it back to the middle and gets down to about the 2. Brings up 2nd and goal. And the Tigers are pouncing on the door once again with 7:27 to go in the second quarter.
And that was a lead draw once again on the right side, and Tofield just cut it back against the grain inside and got close to the goal down, bringing up 2nd down and goal with 7:15 to go, and Independence knocking at the door and leading 10-7.
They send Williams way to the bottom half of your screen, spreading one man out of the play. Look for Tofield off the tackle. They go to him again. He's going to get to the outside, hit at the line, drags into the end zone, but a flag came flying in, and that's going to be holding against the Tigers, negating the touchdown by Tofield. Big mistake there by the Tigers, and it looked like the holding was on the other side where the play wasn't. Big mistake there by the Tigers, as they would have taken another big lead, and that'll back them up 10 yards, making it 2nd and goal from the 12.
And that's a big holding call at this point in the ball game. Amite, Darrell, has dodged a couple bullets, and they dodge another one. Let's see if they can't get in here, dig in, and stop them from scoring and hold them to a field goal. I think if they can hold them to a field goal, they feel like they've got a monumental victory.
So second down and goal from the 12. Albritton to the high side. Williams to the low side. Tofield the lone setback once again as they will use the one-back set all night. Fake the misdirection to Tofield. Sieber across the middle to Weatherford. And that's the play we were told in the pregame by the coaches that they knew they could run somewhere in the game to get them a big play, and they do it here as Weatherford snuck out from the tight end position and was wide open over the middle. And once again, Antron Sieber puts it on the money. He has been phenomenal tonight, and they jump out to a 16-7 lead here with 6:50 to go in the third quarter. The Tiger defense stopped them 3 and out, and the Tiger offense has made them pay. Weatherford lines up for the extra point. These Independence fans are getting rowdy on this side, folks, as Weatherford boots it up, and it is good, folks. 17-7 Tigers lead this one with 6:50 to go in the third quarter.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Corona's Bakery. Corona's Bakery has a wonderful line of wedding cakes for that special day in your life. They also have specialty cakes, oven-fresh, delicious bread, tasty cookies, and mouth-watering pastries. They also serve lunch daily from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with delicious po' boys. They also provide balloon bouquets for any special occasion. Go by Corona's on Market Street in Hammond and make your taste buds happy. That's Corona's Bakery of Hammond. Also, Pete's Pharmacy is your value rate agency in Independence, featuring everyday low prices. At Pete's Pharmacy, we have 2 registered pharmacists on duty to give you fast, efficient prescription service. We are completely computerized for tax and insurance records. We accept all third-party insurance and welfare prescriptions. We offer one-day photo processing service, and we have a large selection of greeting cards and sundries. We also feature 24-hour emergency prescription service. Call Pete or Mata Sr. or Pete Jr. at 878-6321.
And Pete's has been there since 1970. Sieber with a deep kick, fielded in the end zone. It will be a touchback. So once again, the kicking game for Independence makes the Amite offense start at the 20-yard line. What a weapon that is when you have a kicker that can put it back in the end zone, as Sieber has done, and he has been untouchable tonight, folks, doing a fine job as the Tigers lead this one 17-7.
And it makes it awfully tough to go 80 yards, Darryl. When you ask somebody to go 80 yards, you're asking an awful lot. And the kicking game of Independence thus far has done a great job.
And I can't tell you what a big series this is for the Amite offense. You get 3 and out, and then they come back and score to take a 10-point lead. You've got to at least get a couple of first downs here to keep your defense off the field, because that Independence offense is starting to wear them down a little bit, mixing it up. So Desmond Collins needs to get something going here for the Warriors. Fakes the ball to Baptiste, lobs it over the middle to Harris, and oh, he dropped it, folks, at the 45-yard line. Collins put the ball right on the money, and Harris couldn't bring it in.
Well, that was Esco Hornsby, Darryl, the sophomore, and he just could not hold on to it. Beautiful pass by Collins, and that would have been a big play for Amite.
They came out and tried to get the big one to take the crowd back out of it, as these Independence Tigers fans are starting to get loud over here. Second down and 10 from the 20. Collins with a beautiful throw there. They will turn and fake the ball to Baptiste. He rolls left, throws the out pattern to Hornsby. He catches this one and picks up a first down. So nice job by Collins to roll out and avoid the pressure and put the ball right on the money. This time Hornsby brought it in.
And that's something Amite needed, to quiet this crowd down and get a little confidence, showing that they can pick up a first down. As Independence is throwing the ball now, Amite's starting to open up and try to throw the ball. There's plenty of time left, 6:32 to go in the third quarter, and Independence leads 17-7.
It makes it so much easier to run the football when the threat of the pass is there, and the threat of the pass has to be completing a pass, not just throwing it. So the second completion of the night for the Warriors offense, throwing the football. Collins under center, pitches it to Baptiste, tries to get to the outside, and nowhere to go. And that's number 57, Antoine Smith, in the backfield. Broke that play down with penetration and made the big hit on Baptiste to drop him for a 2-yard loss.
In the first half, Amite was able to get outside, but Independence made some adjustments at halftime, and Amite has not been able to get outside in the second half.
And right now the linebackers, McLean and Smith, are jumping the gaps and getting penetration. Brings up a 2nd and 12 for the Warriors, and the crowd trying to get back into it for the Tigers. Warriors with the senior quarterback Collins calmly turns. He fakes the ball to Baptiste. They're coming on the blitz. Big block. Got him over the middle and completed to number 5, Tim Downing. And number 89, the offside defensive end, came out of nowhere, had a shot at it, but it drifted over his head. A great completion by Collins, and they silence the crowd once again with a completion.
That was just a great ad-lib by Collins, doing a great job avoiding a rush and throwing it down to Downing close to the first down. So they will measure this as the Amite offense doing a nice job not getting under pressure and just picking up first downs. Tonight's game brought to you by Big Daddy's Fried Chicken, located at Highway 51 next to the Exxon station. Chicken dinners are buckets, home-style onion rings, fried okra, corn on the cob, apple pies, spicy fries, stuffed jalapenos, nugget dinners, fish, shrimp, oyster dinners, seafood platter, hamburgers. And don't forget the deep-fried turkeys, the best anywhere for all your special occasions. And make sure to call 878-2131.
That's Joe Javing over there at Big Daddy's. They do a great job. Collins on first down, rolls left. There's Antoine Smith, chase him in the flat. He throws the ball up for Harris, in the hands of Albritton and dropped. And almost a big interception there for the Tigers, and it went right in and out of the hands of Albritton. But once again, there's Antoine Smith putting the pressure on Collins.
And he's played a whale of a game defensively, Antoine Smith, from his defensive end position. And right there, Collins, an ill-advised throw as Harris was blanketed, and he got lucky that Albritton did not hang on, or that would have been their second turnover of the ball game.
2nd and 10 for the Warriors, and right now I'd have to say Collins is running for his life, but he's a senior and he's staying under control. Has completed a couple of big ones. But the Tigers have made the adjustments against the run, and right now it looks like Amite will have to throw the football to move it down the field. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They're down 17-7. Collins rolling left once again, looking across the middle, and there again is the defensive end. That's 89, David Copeland, back in coverage, knocking the ball down. And I don't know what kind of defense that is when you have your big defensive end back in coverage, but it's working.
Oh, yes, it is. And the young man looks like he can run and cover. He goes 6'1", 190, very athletic looking and doing a nice job defensively guarding against the pass.
And he was 20 yards back down the field covering that pass, and it brings up another 3rd and long for the Warriors. Collins has been resilient on this drive so far, picked up the first downs when they need them. Let's see what he can come up with here as the ball rests at the 42-yard lines of the Warriors. Collins fakes it to Baptiste, and here comes Smith once again. It's a screen, and that was a blatant clip, and I do not see a flag. I think they missed that one, folks, but the pass drops incomplete and will bring up 4th down as the Warriors will have to punt it off to the Tigers, and they just missed that one, Marty. The referees do a fine job, but they missed that one, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't cost them because the Tigers will get the football with 4:53 left to go here in the third quarter. Albritton back deep to receive. Harris will be the punter, and they will get the ball once again on offense. And right now, if they can get the ball and drive down and score, it's going to make it awfully tough for the Warriors the rest of the way.
It is, Darryl, as Independence continues to coming out in the second half, putting pressure on the passing game of Amite.
And Harris all last week and so far tonight has boomed his punts. Gets this one away a little bit shorter, but nice and high as it bounces, and they will just get away from it, and the ball will roll dead around the 20-yard line. So Independence takes over, 1st down and 10 at the 20. We'd like to remind you tonight's game is brought to you by Fidelity Finance of Hammond. They're located at 118 North Cate Avenue in downtown Hammond. They're locally owned and operated. Stop by their office or call them at 429-8000 for all your money needs. Also, Gill Motors in Kentwood, folks. Go by and see them up there and check out all their nice new cars. They've done a fine job up there, and they're right off the interstate there to the left in Kentwood. Go by and see Darby Carroll or Don Gill at Gill Motor Company in Kentwood. So 1st down at the 20. Sieber drops back, hands this one to Tofield. He's swarmed inside by Kendrick Francois, and nowhere to go for the young man as he slipped down trying to cut back to the middle.
And right there, a little fortune for Amite defensively is the big guy slipped for Independence, Tofield, and lost about 3, so it brings up 2nd and 13. And Darrell, it is imperative that Amite stop Independence on this drive and get the ball back.
And not a good sign for the Tigers, as their best offensive lineman, number 54, Kerry Watkins, highly recruited, is limping back to the huddle here. So the Tigers looks like they'll have to take a timeout here to talk about this.
Tonight's game brought to you by Gill Motor Company of Kentwood, located Highway 51 South in Kentwood. Go by and see all the nice Chevrolets, Dodge trucks. They've got great deals out there at Gill Motors, and Gill Motors has been a great sponsor of high school football. Go by and see Darby Carroll and Don Gills. They do a great job up there, and they big supporters of Tangipahoa television and Tangipahoa football, so go by and tell them you appreciate what they do for you at Gill Motor Company in Kentwood.
And we'd like to remind everyone out there, these sponsors spend their money to help us get this game on the air, and we know you appreciate getting to see it. For those of you who aren't here at the game, and I think almost everybody's here, there's not a seat to be had, go by and tell these sponsors thank you for helping get them on the air so that you can see all the other high school teams in your area. If you're here at this game, you'll be able to go home and see the Hammond game and the Ponchatoula game, and we'll be back here next week for the Albany Independence game. 17-7, 3:45 to go in the third quarter. The Tigers with a 2nd and 12. Sieber looking for the out pattern. It's covered this time. Makes a nice recovery, gets to the outside, and will pick up about 5 yards as he just put a juke on Francois to the outside. But there is a flag down in the area of holding. We'll wait for the officials' call. So right now, a big series for the Amite Warriors defense as they are backing Independence up and will come up with great field position if they can hold them here, down 10, and it was a clip. And a lot of times when you reverse your field like that, your linemen aren't sure where you're going, and they just blocking all the way, and this time they get called for the clip.
And Amite getting the benefit of the penalty tonight is usually, you know, Amite's been, throughout the years, has been a team heavily penalized, but tonight, Independence is a team that's been penalized, and those penalties have kind of kept Amite in the ball game, Darrell.
They played pretty well tonight, but with the help of the penalties, it makes their defense just that much tougher. And the Tigers are backed up at their own 6-yard line and confused, and they'll call their second timeout. So if this one goes down to the wire, the Independence Tigers won't have many but one timeout left. And we'd like to remind you right now that this game brought to you by Paul's Pharmacy in Independence. They're locally owned and operated by Paul and Frances Durnan. They accept most major health plans and offer patient counseling and have computerized prescriptions. They're open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday through Friday and from 8 to 2 on Saturdays. Team up with a winner, because at Paul's, we care about you and your health. Also, the Bond Eye Clinic of Amite. They're formerly Amite Optical. Bond Eye Clinic is located at 105 Southeast Central in downtown Amite. They specialize in eye exams for glasses and contacts, treatment of ocular disease, consultations for cataract and refractive surgery, and eye emergencies. Go by and see Dr. Hunter Bond for any of your visual needs. Open 9 to 5 Monday to Friday and open in evening hours on Thursday. Also, Friendly Hardware of Independence. Come by Friendly Hardware and let Andrew, Joe, or Lynette help you with all your hardware needs. They carry a full supply of plumbing, electrical, carpentry supplies, and anything you might need for any little job you have around the house. They're open 7 days a week in downtown Independence. They also are starting to stock a lot of items for your Christmas shopping needs. So 2nd down and, oh my God, about 23 for the Tigers as they're backed up to their 6-yard line. They turn, fake the ball as he tries to get to the outside, almost tackling the end zone, and gets it out to the 4th. As Sieber was pressured hard by number 20, Carlos Burns, almost tackled the end zone and gets it out safely. And I'm not sure where it's marked out at, but it looks to be about the 1-yard line. So the Tigers are definitely going in the wrong direction here. And with this short of a field, it's going to be a tough punt from that end.
And right there, Independence very fortunate not to get a safety right there as Carlos Burns seemed like he had Sieber, but Sieber just had enough to get out of his reach and get it out of bounds. So it'll be 3rd down and 29 yards from the Independence 1. And if Amite's going to get back in this ball game, Darrell, they got to have a big play right here on defense.
They definitely cannot let them get the 1st down, but look for Independence just to try to complete something to get them some breathing room for the punt here. Albritton to the high side, man-to-man coverage, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he's not going to pick up much, folks. So Independence unwilling to gamble with a pass there, as they knew Amite would be coming. Will have to punt from the end zone, and they don't have much room to work with. So Quentin Weatherford, the tight end, will be back to punt. 3:06 left to go in the third quarter. They lead by 10, but Amite will come out of here with great field position. And we look back deep to receive for Amite is number 22, Alfred Brumfield, and he's only standing on the 30-yard line, Marty, so they will have excellent field position here if he could just fair catch it for the Warriors. The punt is up and away, and it's a high one. Brumfield gets away from it. It takes an Amite bounce and will be down at the 38-yard line. So the Warriors do the job on defense and come back on offense with great field positions. They're at the 38 of the Tigers to start this possession. And Marty, last series, they went strictly with the pass, completed a couple, but they're going to have to mix in the run every once in a while with C.J. Baptiste. He's too big of a big play man for you not to get the ball in his hands some.
Well, I think they are going to have to go back to the run. And I think if Amite's going to get back into this ball game, they're going to have to run the ball a little bit. And if they're going to get back, they need to get a score right now, Darrell, and cut this deficit to 17-14.
At least got to come away with something here when you're starting out at the opposition's 38-yard line. And they have gone back to number 9, the sophomore, Brandon Wagner at quarterback. And we see a flag thrown. And we've seen way too many flags tonight on both sides of the ball. Not sure of the call, but it looks like it will go against the Warriors. Illegal procedure, that'll back them up 5, and not a very good start for this possession. So it'll back them up to the 43-yard line. First down and 15 for the Warriors. The sophomore Wagner back in at quarterback. And the clock is ticking with 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Sidelines, both bleachers are really quiet right now. They know this game is starting to hang in the balance. A big play by the Tigers could put the Warriors away, and a big play by the Warriors can get them right back in it. Looking for the speed play. He's going to throw the ball, looking deep to Harris. Albritton all over him. And Harris cut back to the inside, catches it for the touchdown, and it just so happens that the receiver knew it was coming, made the adjustment. Albritton never saw it and got beaten for the bomb.
And basically a little luck for Amite right there, as Albritton had him perfectly covered. So the Warriors, who seemed like they were just seemingly out of this ball game, have bent but not broken and have hung around and gotten themselves right back in this ball game.
Well, the pass was poorly overthrown there, but the problem was Albritton never saw it, and Harris made the great adjustment and took it on in, and we talked about his big play capability, and they've cut this lead to 17-13. 43, Damon Thompson in to kick. It's fumbled. Ball's on the ground, so that could come back to haunt them late in the ball game as they don't cut it to a field goal. It's now 17-13 with 2:24 left to go in the third quarter. So the Tigers, even though they give up the big play, they do come up big on special teams and stop the extra point. I'd like to remind you right now, this game is brought to you by Ragusa's Building Supply of Independence. Ragusa's is located conveniently in downtown Independence and has all of your plumbing, electrical, and construction supplies. Come by and see Charles Ragusa for all your hardware needs. Also, Brumfield Ford of Amite. Brumfield Ford is having a huge tent sale. Come by and make your own deal. Choose from the different things that they offer, like a 100,000-mile extended warranty, or take money off the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Or you can buy one used car and get the matching used car for $1. 2 for the price of 1 almost. These are just some of the great deals you'll get at Brumfield. Also, the 98 Fords are just arriving. So the Warriors, with Harris, the big play receiver who caught the touchdown, lining up to kick it off. Tofield is deep in the middle. Also back is Otto Bonds and Devarius Best, the 2 cornerbacks. Look maybe for Amite to kick this one to one side or the other and keep it out of Tofield's hand, as he's been explosive on kickoff returns tonight. And he kicks this one deep, but it will be in the end zone. Tofield will not get a chance to bring this one out. So the Tigers will start again at their 20 with a 4-point lead. 2:24 to go in the third quarter.
And right there, Adrian Harris doing a good job. Amite getting a little momentum back and making Independence go 80 yards right there. You didn't want to kick it to LeBrandon Tofield and give him a chance to return it. You got the big kick into the end zone. So right now, Darrell, I think the momentum has kind of shifted toward the Warriors.
And Marty, I'm looking around the stands here, and there's probably more people here than there will be at the Saints game Sunday. I mean, there are folks everywhere as they have come out to see these two top-ranked teams in the state, number 2 and number 3, battle it out for supremacy. And not only is this for bragging rights, probably for the district title, but it's also for a trip to the playoffs that does not go through Evangel, and neither team wants to go there. Both teams will probably end up making the playoffs, but one could get an easier road with a win here tonight if they could go on and finish off the other opponents and win this district.
That's a very good point, and if for any unforeseen miracle, I don't see why the winner of this game should not go ahead and run the table in the district. So this is a big game, and it's everything we thought it would be, and with 2:24 to go in the third quarter, Independence leads 17-13.
Tofield by himself in the backfield. Sieber will turn, hand it to him. He gets a little crease up the middle, gets this one out for about 9 or 10 yards, and once again, there's the laundry on the field, and every time they seem like they make a big play, we get flags on the field. And I'm not sure of the call. We'll wait on it here. 2 different flags on the field, folks. And it's going to be holding against the Tigers and clipping against the Tigers, so multiple fouls, and they are just beating themselves to death here with penalties.
Well, they are, Darrell. I mean, in any level of football, you can call it holding or clipping on any play, but it just seems like that Independence is kind of getting more penalties than they're used to, and maybe they're obvious holding and obvious clipping penalties, but I don't see them.
Well, they're calling this one tight tonight, but right now the penalties have gone the way of the Tigers, and the Warriors defense taking full advantage of it. They've kept Tofield in check. He finally gets one out for a big gain, and they bring it back for the holding and the clipping, so they had their choice on that one. First down and 18 from the 13-yard line. They fake it to Tofield. Sieber looking to throw, being pressured by Big Dixon. Drives to the outside. Will turn the corner and pick up about 6 or 7 yards. So a good job making something out of nothing as the big man was on his way after him, and he didn't want to get caught by 75 there.
No, he didn't. Romulus Dixon, big pressure, but Sieber doing a great job tonight controlling this offense. And so far offensively, Sieber has done the job for Independence.
He is the reason they were up 17-13. But it will bring up a 2nd and 11. The ball stands at the 19-yard line, and right now momentum has switched a little bit. The Tigers need to get a first down here to try to set the field position back in their favor. They have Williams to the bottom of the screen, the wide side. That's where they've thrown the out all night long. Let's see if they come with it here. They slip the handoff to Tofield. He's knocked down at the line. No gain. That's number 64, Nathan Thomas, who spanked him at the line of scrimmage. And right now, Amite's making all the right moves on defense.
Yes, they are, Darrell. And Independence has kind of gone away from those out patterns. I would look for them to go to Kenny Albritton right now, or maybe back to the tight end. Open up the passing game, because Amite has solved LeBrandon Tofield.
Dropped him for a 2-yard loss there. It is now 3rd and 14, and the Independence offense sputtering a little bit here. The Warrior defense getting more and more confidence built as they have stopped them for 2 or 3 straight possessions. That AB sideline is getting lively over there, folks. The fans are getting into it as their defense is playing. And here they go in the deep out pattern. He missed him, but he's going to go deep to Albritton. It's one-on-one coverage. It's a jump ball in his hands and out of there. And a great play by number 10, Brian Deaver, as it was just a jump ball there. And once again, there are flags all over the field. And you hate to see it in a game of this magnitude that the referees are becoming the most important part. And we see an Independence person point toward Amite. I'm not sure if it's going to be against the Warriors, but what a big break for the Tigers it would be if they get this penalty. As they would have been forced to punt.
Personal foul.
And it is a personal foul. And it's a penalty also against Independence for an ineligible man, so they will offset. This will be a replay of the down, so Amite dodges the bullet there as the personal foul would have given them a first down, but Independence, once again, penalty after penalty has killed them tonight. They still lead this one 17-13 with a minute to go in the third quarter, and once again, a 3rd down and 14. And they ran the out pattern to Williams to this side. He didn't see him, but it was open for a second. But they're starting to drop a man off from the line of scrimmage in the flat to make it harder for Sieber to see him. Warriors making the adjustments. Pressure on Sieber. He's hit as he throws it by Carlos Burns, and he had no time as Burns, the offside linebacker, came on the blitz, and the Warriors stop him once again.
And right there, that's about the first blitz we've seen from the Amite defense, and it came at an opportune time as Carlos Burns got some pressure on Sebring, what you need to do, because if you let him sit back there, he'll pick you apart. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 15, and Amite should get good field position once again, but when you got a weapon like Quentin Weatherford, he can boom him 50 yards. So Brumfield, Darrell, I think is a little too close with the leg that Weatherford's got, because he can definitely boom it over his head.
Deep in his own end, he stands at the 3-yard line. Nice snap, kick is up and away, and a nice booming high kick drives Brumfield away from the ball, and it lands at the 35 and will fall dead at the 35. So a great kick there of 49 yards, and Marty called it 50 before he punted it. He only got 49, but what a great kick. The big problem with it was for Amite, no return, so they don't come up with the field position they thought they would have, but they will have it first down at their own 35. With 47 seconds left to go in the third quarter, they have turned the tide, and right now this game is anybody's to be had as both sidelines try to pump up their squads. Amite has returned with Desmond Collins at quarterback. C.J. Baptiste, the lone setback. They will turn and hand to him. Ball's on the ground, and the Tigers will have it. And there, once again, the turnover can kill you, but it remains to be seen if this Tiger offense can punish them as they couldn't do it in the first half. The Warrior defense will have to step up big, and I got to tell you something. Number 70, Derek Hunter, was in the backfield, forced that fumble.
And just when it seemed like Amite had all the momentum and getting a chance to maybe go up in this game, the big turnover, and they've had both turnovers, has just killed them.
42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The Tigers lead it 17-13 and have just gotten a big turnover, and the ball sits at the Amite 37-yard line. Tigers have it first down and 10, and if they can cut out the penalties here, look for him to go to Tofield as he broke a big play back here but got called for the holding. Let's see if they go back to Tofield and try to establish a little dominance on the line. There he goes, folks. He cuts it inside. Hit down hard by Francois, but only after he picks up 4 or 5 yards.
And it looked like he had a gaping hole, but Francois was seemingly shot out of a cannon, Darrell, as he came from his middle linebacker position and made a great saving tackle, or Tofield would have picked up about 20 yards.
But right now, Independence will take 4 or 5 yards a pop by Tofield. And Amite's defense is starting to be on the field an awful lot here, so the Tigers doing what they want to do. And that's going to tick the clock down as that will be the last play of the third quarter. Tigers lead it 17-13, and they have the ball at the 32 of Amite as they try to put this game under wraps. But the Warriors are fighting with everything they have. Right now, we'd like to remind you that this game is brought to you by Corona's Bakery in Hammond. Corona's Bakery has a wonderful line of wedding cakes for that special day in your life. They also have specialty cakes such as birthday cakes, Father's Day, Mother's Day, you name it, they can do it. Oven fresh, delicious bread, tasty cookies, mouth-watering pastries. They also serve lunch daily from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with delicious po' boys. They provide balloon bouquets for any special occasion. Go by Corona's on Market Street in Hammond and make your taste buds happy. Marty, this game is kind of, the flow has been back and forth. It's been kind of a roller coaster, but right here as we start the fourth quarter, Tigers lead by 4. If they can punch this one in, it could be a major obstacle for the Warriors to get back in as they will need 2 scores. The missed extra point could come back to haunt if they can score late.
Well, that was a big extra point right there, because even if Independence gets a field goal and a touchdown and an all-important extra point would only tie it for Amite.
Sieber turns, hands to Tofield again, but there's nowhere for him to go. He's hitting the backfield and dropped for a 4-yard loss. And number 22, Alfred Brumfield, comes in and makes a big play on LeBrandon as he tries to break to the outside, but the Warriors are not going to let him go outside. He's had more success off tackle, and that puts them back in 3rd and 9, so big play here for the Tigers, but I honestly believe they got to be in 4-down territory here, so look for them maybe to run the out pattern, try to pick up at least 6 or 7 yards.
Well, they are going to be in 4-down territory because the way their defense has played tonight, they're doing a good job of holding Amite. You got it on the 35-yard line, so it's 4-down territory for the Tigers.
3rd and 9 is the 35-yard line of the Warriors. Sieber under the center. Looking to throw the ball wide open is Williams, and he catches it, and he's going to score. I just can't tell you how impressive Antoine Sieber has been tonight. If a receiver gets open, he's putting it on the money, and Rod Williams has played a great ball game tonight. Dropped one pass, but caught everything else thrown to him.
He has, and that was a good play call. Amite thinking they're going to go to the outside, and Rod Williams did a post pattern. Sieber set up nicely, had all day to throw, and threw a strike for a 35-yard touchdown, and Independence goes ahead 23-13 with 11:04 to go in the ball game.
Big play here to open the 4th quarter with only 11:04 left to go in this ball game. The Tigers can take an 11-point lead as Weatherford lines up for the extra point. The snap is down, it's up, and it is no good, but a flag down. We'll have to see what the call is as the snap one hop to the holder, Williams, and he couldn't quite get it down, and they missed the kick, but there is a flag down. The Zebras will conference at about the 8-yard line, trying to find out what the flag is. Big call if it goes against the Warriors, as they will get another chance. And they are conferencing on this one, folks. Big difference between an 11-point lead and 10. And it goes against the Tigers, and it goes also against the Warriors. They offset. It was dead ball foul. So 23-13, the Tigers have taken the lead with 11:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. So the Tigers will be kicking off here. Big series coming up for the Warriors on offense, as they're going to need 2 scores to win it. And we're in the 4th quarter, so it seems like they're going to have to get something on this series.
And Mr. Sieber has stepped up and played one whale of a ball game. You know, there's a lot of quarterbacks around the area and in the state, but if there's one better than him, Darryl, I'd like to see him.
Well, I don't think there's one better if the way he's played tonight, because he has thrown the ball incredibly, put it on the money every chance he's got, and has also kicked off very well. Antoine Sieber doing a fine job tonight, has staked the Tigers to a 10-point lead here in the 4th quarter, and we don't mention their names enough, but the Independence offensive line is doing a pretty good job pass protecting. He's had time to throw the ball, and that time they faked the out route and brought him across the middle, and Williams caught it. Sieber kicks it away. Harris at the 3-yard line brings it right up the pipe, got a little bit of a hole, and gets it out to about the 35-yard line, and a nice tackle there by Jeremy Cooper, as Harris was one step away from getting to the open field.
And that's what you like to see from Amite. You want your big play guy, Adrian Harris, returning kickoffs. And right there, Coach Carrier put him in, and he made a nice kickoff return, giving Amite good field position. So if you're Amite, Darryl, you're down by 10 points with 10:58 to go in the ball game. You almost have to score right here.
Well, there is a lot of time left, but the way that Independence has been able to put together a few first downs every time they've had the ball, they're going to run a lot of clock. So it seems to me like you need to get down there and get something here. Number 9, Brandon Wagner, the sophomore, is at quarterback. He drops back to throw the ball. They're going deep once again, and well covered there by number 5, Otto Bonds, as they tried to go to 99, Lionel Mallory, and Bonds wasn't going for the out fake. He had him go all the way, and well covered there by the DB.
Great coverage right there by Bonds. Amite trying to get the big one, but that was not even close, as Wagner threw the ball inside, and it needed to be outside. So great coverage right there by Bonds.
And we often talk about big third and fourth down plays, but this is a big second down play. You got to pick up some positive yards here so you're not in third and long and leave the option of the run open. So 2nd and 10 from the 35. Wagner is your quarterback. And he's a little confused there, doesn't like the look of the defense and calls a timeout. So with 10:52 left to go in the game, it's 23-13 Tigers.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Big Daddy's Fried Chicken, located Highway 51 next to the Exxon station. They have chicken dinners, home-style onion rings, fried okra, corn on the cob, delicious apple pies, spicy fries. They got nugget dinners, oyster dinners, the seafood platter, hamburgers, po' boys, muffaladas, barbecue rib dinners, and don't forget about the deep-fried turkeys, Daryl. You need to get your order in early because these turkeys go quick, as they are some of the best turkeys you'll find anywhere, and he has them for all special occasions. Call 878-2131, Big Daddy's Fried Chicken.
And as a player, a coach, a fan, as announcers, this is what you want to see. We've been waiting for this game all year, and so far it's lived up to every bit. And the Warriors, 2nd down and 10 from their 35. Wagner is your quarterback. Drops back, he's going to roll right, looking to throw. Smith coming, lobs it up the middle, and oh my, he threw it up for grabs, and number 3, Antron Sieber had a shot at it, hit him in the hands, and he dropped it. Once again, the Tigers had the opportunity to maybe put this one away. If they could have got the ball there, they would have had great field position, and they drop it. Warriors hanging around, and they're a great team. You can't let them hang around too much because they can come back to haunt you. So 3rd down and 10 for the Warriors. There is 10:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and Smith came on the blitz, and he threw that one up for grabs, and an ill-advised throw by the sophomore. He will get the chance once again on 3rd and 10. They were looking for rollout. Smith out there again. Wagner steps in, and he's going to be hit. Big Drake hit him first, and it's somebody else, I believe it's McLean, drags him down for a 2-yard loss. So Antoine Smith is taking the outside route on the pass rush, keeping him in the pocket, and is doing fine for the Tigers.
And the defensive Independence has stepped up in the second half and not allowed Amite to get anything. Aside from the one big play, Independence defense has done a good job, as well as Amite's defense. It's been a well-played game. Both teams have played great. Independence getting the big penalties and Amite getting the big turnovers. So Independence leads 23-13 in a very close game.
And Adrian Harris back to punt has boomed him all night. He needs a big one here, Marty. They need to drive Independence back. Can't afford to give up good field position to the Tigers, and he gets it, and a wonderful kick. And I tell you what, the kid's a big play wide receiver, but he might be the best punter we've seen this year. Albritton only returns at about 5 yards, and the Tigers will take over at the 25. And what a weapon a punter is like this kid, as he kicks it so high and deep. Excellent cover by the Warriors on special teams.
It certainly was. Quentin Weatherford for Independence and Adrian Harris for Amite have done outstanding jobs in the special teams. So Independence will take over 1st and 10 at the 25, trying to kill some clock as they lead 23-13 with 9:44 to go in the ball game.
And their emphasis here has to be get a few first downs, run some clock, but if they know if they can drive it down and score, they could take the heart out of this Warrior team. They won't quit, but it would be a big, big key if they could go up by more than 10, 2 touchdowns. There's a lot to come back in the 4th quarter. So Tofield off tackle. Great block by Watkins. He tries to get to the outside and will pick up about 4 yards. Big block there by Kerry Watkins. And Tofield breaks it to the outside, picks up 4 yards, and a little slow getting up there.
And right there, nice job by Gordon stretching it out, waiting for help as Independence slowing Tofield down tonight. They've done a good job against the run. They just have not solved the pass. And the reason Independence has been successful with the pass, Daryl, is he's had time to throw.
And he's had time to throw because they have continuously ran Tofield, make him respect the run. You know you got to respect this guy when he gets the ball, so it takes your safeties into run coverage and allows you to get some one-on-one coverage on your receivers. And Antron Sieber has taken advantage of that all night. 2nd down and 6. Williams to the top of your screen, Albritton to the bottom, and a penalty, a whistle goes before the play gets off as they were going to run it to Tofield. And I'm not sure of the whistle.
before the snap.
Tofield comes out of there limping.
Go down to 5.
And there was a whistle, and it must have came from the sideline. The play really never developed. People thought
Official timeout.
that the play was not going to happen, and they quit on it, and Tofield got dragged down for a 1-yard gain. Brings up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. And I think the players were fooled as well as we were with that whistle coming from somewhere on the side. So Tofield has limped off once again, as we saw him do in the Kentwood game. He has run very hard tonight, but this big 3rd down play will come out on the shoulders of Antron Sieber. He needs to complete one more pass here, as the Tigers have the clock down to 8:29 in the 4th quarter. They lead by 10, desperately trying to keep this drive going and keep the ball out of the Warriors' hands. Sieber surveys the defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, get a whistle. Wendy Sam, please refrain from blowing a whistle. Please refrain from blowing whistles.
And number 24, Brandon Dawson, the fullback, is back at tailback. He's quite a load, Marty, so you can't relax on him either. As Tofield takes a breather, looks like he might have a cramp on the sideline. Sieber calling the signals. Turns, fakes it to Dawson. He makes a block. Sieber rolls left, throwing deep for Joseph. He's open as the defender fell down, and he's going to get down at about the 3-yard line. What a bad break for the Warriors, as number 31, Patrick Warford, was all over him and tripped and fell, allowing Joseph to make the reception. And once again, the big play by Antron Sieber, completing the pass down to the 3. And I know there's 8:11 left, but if they punch this one in here, that might be all she wrote for the Warriors.
And it's been a big play of Independence tonight. Good coverage by Gordon, but he just slipped down and could not make the coverage. And Seaburn, the way he's done tonight, has threw it right on the money. And when Amite seems like they're going to get back in this ball game and even take the lead, Darrell, something bad happened.
And showing you the heart, LeBrandon Tofield limps back out on the field. Looks like they put some tape on the ankle. I was told before the game he's having a slight problem with his ankle, but he knows how big this game is, and he wants to play, folks. 1st down and goal from the 3-yard line. Single setback is LeBrandon Tofield. They hand off to him to the outside, cuts back to the inside, and that's why he's the real deal, folks, as he busted in from 3 yards out. That is 21 touchdowns on the season for LeBrandon, and the Tigers lead it 29-13.
And right there, the bread and butter play, the lead draw right there, and Tofield brings it in, bringing the score. Independence 29 and Amite 13.
And it was like somebody let the wind out of the sails on the Amite side as they were in this ball game, and they cut it and made a big turnover there, and now the Tigers have opened up a big lead here with 7:43 to go. Extra point up, and it is good. The Tigers have opened up a 17-point lead here with 7:43 to go.
And tonight's game being brought to you by Gill Motor Company of Kentwood, located at Highway 51 South, right off the interstate. Go by and see Darby Carroll, Don Gill, all the fine folks at Gill Motor Companies. They got a fine selection of Chevy trucks, Dodge trucks, and cars. So go by and thank them for sponsoring this game on Tangipahoa Television. That's Gill Motor Company in Kentwood.
And this is your game of the week. Merely Marty Morgan, I'm Darrell Smith. And what a fine ball game, and the Independence Tigers are putting on quite a show here tonight. And if they can hold on, this will be the 3rd year in a row that they've beat the Amite Warriors, and that's not going to sit well up at that north end of the parish, Marty. The Warriors have a proud program with a lot of history. Won a state title back in '92, I believe it was. Excuse me, '94, I stand corrected. So they will be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs, win or lose here tonight. But this one isn't over with 7:43 to go, but they are down 17, and a big extra point there, because now 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions won't do it. They're going to need 3 scores here. And the scary thought about this Tiger offense is LeBrandon Tofield and Antron Sieber are juniors. They will be back next year. Although a lot of the linemen are seniors, they will be back next year, folks. So Independence football looking up for at least another year. So we await the officials' whistle. Sieber kicks off a low line drive. taken at about the 1. He fumbles into the end zone. It will be a touchback. So Tigers come back out on defense, and folks, if they can step it up here and stop Amite here, this ball game will be pretty much over. The Warriors definitely have to come out. They have to score each time they touch the ball, and this will be a big series. Let's see who they go at quarterback here.
Well, I think they're going to bring the senior, Collins, in there. As Amite, Daryl, you know, they trailed 30-13, but they came out and played one whale of a game, and if you tune it in late and you see 30-13, the score is not indicative of how the game has gone. You know, we told you it'd be turnovers and big plays, and that's just what it's been, and Independence is going to come out on top.
Independence has not made any turnovers tonight, 2 for the Warriors. Collins dropping back to throw, looking across the middle, he's open, and what a great throw and catch there by number 5. Tim Downing had a man draped all over him, Otto Bonds, and he still made the reception. So first down for the Warriors, a nice throw there by Collins.
It was. Collins set up nicely in the pocket, and Downing ran an in pattern, and Collins threw it right on the money. So great catch by Downing, picking up the first down.
A great athletic catch there, coming across the middle when you know you're going to get hit, and he hung on to the ball. So they have it out to the 36-yard line, clock running, 7:20 to go. Collins looking, will fake the handoff to Batiste, and the pressure's on. He tries to run it up the middle, gets away, got a little seam, gets to the outside, picks up 13, and desperately tries to get out of bounds, but tackled inside by number 3, Antron Sieber. So even though they're moving the ball, they're not being able to stop the clock as it ticks down. As the clock moves, we are down to about 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Tigers defense playing a little bit looser here. They'll allow a little bit of yards, but there's a lot of time left to play this loose. They got to come up and try to stop them. Collins, the senior, doing a fine job here, avoiding the rush there and then just tucking up the middle and picking up some nice positive yards. They're out at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Fakes to Batiste, looking to throw, lobs it up deep to Harris, and he makes the catch there as Albritton was all over him. So 2 big catches by the Warrior receiver.
And that was a great throw and a great catch. And Daryl, Amite refusing to die. If they punch it in here with 6 minutes to go, they're back in this ball game.
And not bad defense by the Tigers. Albritton was there, but a picture-perfect pass and throw by Collins to Harris, and they're knocking at the door at the 20 with 6:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. Desmond Collins, the senior quarterback, has stepped in. He's not panicking. He's been here before, folks. He will roll right. There's Antoine Smith, misses him. He eludes him. They pump it, they throw it up in the air, and almost picked off there as number 89, David Copeland, was back in coverage again, and not a good throw there as he just lobbed it up for grabs.
And Collins has done a great job, Daryl, ad-libbing, making something happen, and right there, just a ill-advised throw. Luckily, it wasn't picked off.
6:12 to go in the fourth quarter. The Tigers lead it 30-13, but the Warriors knocking at the door, and anything can happen in this heated rivalry, folks. Not a fan is left as these bleachers are packed. Collins drops back to throw again. Here comes Smith in the face. And I got to tell you something, folks. There's a flag down the backfield, but number 7, Charles Tofield, never turned around, or he could have picked that one off for the Tigers. But it looks like we're going to have a personal foul against the Tigers, a blow to the head on the quarterback as Antoine Smith came on the blitz and hit him a little late there, so a break for the Warriors.
And that's going to be half a distance to the goal and a big break for Amite. So with 6:06 to go in the game and Independence leading 30-13, Amite is threatening.
And it will give the Warriors I believe, a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And that's what it will be. 1st down and goal from the 10-yard line for the Warriors.
1st and goal off the 10-yard line.
And now they mark it as not a 1st down. It will be 2nd and a half yard for the Warriors. So another break for them as they can pick up the 1st down and get a little closer to the goal line to have 1st and goal. We haven't seen them run the quarterback keeper a lot tonight. Would be a good place to call it here. They hand to Baptiste. He jukes to the outside. He's going to go in to score, but I believe they're going to be called for holding as the flag is down. So just when you think something good happens for the Warriors, a penalty flag down, and we await the call. Holding against Amite. Great job by Baptiste to jump back in the hole and then explode up the middle to score, but a holding call against the Warriors will back them up. And now it really is a big play that they didn't get a first down, because now it only makes it 2nd and 9. Tad under 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter in an exciting game here at Tiger Stadium in Independence. There's not a seat in the house, folks. The Tiger fans pushing on their defense here to stand up and stop the Warriors, as they'd like to rest easy for the last few minutes of this game, but the Warriors are not going to make it simple for the Tigers. Desmond Collins is the quarterback. Baptiste comes in motion. There's a flag down. And I believe that one will also go against the Warriors. So right now they are shooting themselves in the foot and making it hard on themselves to get back in this game.
Oh, they are, Darryl, as a legal procedure against Amite. And there's been a lot of holding penalties tonight. Like we said, you can call them on every play, but it seems like when one team has got the big play, there's been a holding penalty. It's unfortunate that the referees have to do that.
You have to call them, though, Marty, and they are doing a good job tonight, as they always do. 2nd down and a long 14 as they hand the ball off to Baptiste to the outside, hit by Smith, and slows him down enough for number 7, Charles Tofield, to come up and make the tackle. So no gain on the play, brings up a 3rd and 15. So the Warriors will have 2 downs to pick up this first down, and this is the series of the game, as there's about 5.5 minutes to go.
Well, they have 2 downs to pick up the first down, but you got to give your hats off to both teams. Amite specifically on this drive, not quitting, Darryl.
And we knew they wouldn't. They're not the kind of kids that quit or a program. Their coach, David Carrier, will not let them. Harris comes to the bottom side against Albritton, man-to-man. Look for him, maybe to look for him, and that's where he's looking, trying to throw the in route, and he left him. I'm not sure about that for Albritton, but he just stopped and let him catch the ball, and Harris turns it to the outside, gets it down to the 5-yard line for a 1st and goal. The Warriors are still alive, but Albritton had good coverage and just stopped and let him catch it.
He certainly did, Darryl, but that's something you can't teach. If you're a college recruiter and you don't like Adrian Harris, you are crazy, because that young man has made some outstanding catches, and he can run after the catch.
His biggest asset is that he can run after the catch, as he turned it in and picked up another 10 yards after the catch. But I knew they would go against the 1-on-1 matchup against Albritton, as Harris has come up with some big plays. So 5:09 to go, 4th quarter. Collins hands off to Baptiste. He's going to keep it himself. He rolls to the outside, nowhere to go. And that's Antoine Smith making a big play. Charles Tofield, number 7, drags him down for no gain. So the clock runs under 5 minutes, and the Warriors have to score here.
And that's just great defense right there by Tofield. From our vantage point, it looked like Collins would sneak it around and get in, but Tofield came from his corner position and would not let him get in.
The official timeout here. And while we take this timeout, we want to thank one of our sponsors, Fidelity Finance of Hammond. Fidelity Finance is located at 118 North Cade Avenue in downtown Hammond. They're locally owned and operated. Stop by their office or call them at 429-8000 for all your money needs. Fidelity Finance. And we'd like to thank all the sponsors for allowing us to be here and bring you this game, and what a game it is. 4:26 to go and counting. Collins on the keeper will score. No flags down this time, so the Warriors jump back in it, 30-19. And the Independent sideline, the crowd has been quieted here. A few minutes ago, they're in control, and the Warriors walk down 80 yards and score with 4:21 to go in this ball game. Once again, a big extra point here. They need to make this one. The deficit is now 11. And they will go for 2 here. Big play here. Collins fakes the ball. He's going to throw it on the out pattern, and a fine job. And I want to see the number of this kid. That's Kenny Albritton, who just got beat for the big pass play, dives and deflects it away.
19, 4:21 to
And 4:21 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Tigers stave off the extra point attempt and lead this one 30-19. They will have their hands team on the field, expecting a possible onside kick from the Warriors. Tofield back deep, also number 5, Otto Bonds. Everybody else, all you receivers and good hands people up front. As we're not sure with this much time left, they do need 2 scores to win it. The Warriors, whether they will try the onside kick or kick it deep, we'll see as Harris awaits the official's whistle. And we have it, Harris, and it looks like they're going for the onside kick as they run everybody to the right. And there it is. And there's going to be a flag down, I believe, as the Warriors fall on it, but I think he touched it before it went 10 yards. So we await the call here, and he touched the ball at the 48. It did not go 10 yards before he touched it. So we'll see what the ruling is here, but they did come up with it. So I'm not real sure, but I believe that just backs them up, and they'll have to kick it again, Marty, with 4:19 to go. So nothing lost there if you go for it.
Well, if it doesn't travel 10 yards, I think the team receiving the ball gets it at the point where they touch the ball. So Independence will take over offensively in good field position at the Amite 48-yard line, just trying to pick up a few first downs and run the clock out.
So my mistake there, it is something lost as they give Independence great field position, and the Tigers here will look to just try to get a couple of first downs and let the clock run. Look for them to run the ball with LeBrandon here and just try to keep this clock moving, but Amite knows what they're going to do. And there it goes to Tofield off the left side. He just runs hard and puts his head down, picks up about 3 yards. And the Warriors will call a timeout here to stop the clock with 4:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. At this time, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors: Big Daddy's Fried Chicken, Fidelity Finance, Paul's Pharmacy, Bond Eye Clinic, Friendly Hardware of Independence, Gill Motor Company, Ragusa's Building Supply, Brumfield Ford, Corona's Bakery, and Pete's Pharmacy. Folks, without their help, we wouldn't be here tonight. We wouldn't be here week after week to bring you these great ball games. And if you go by one of these places, be sure to let them know and thank them for helping get us on the air, because without them, we wouldn't be here, and we really love the fact that we are here on a Friday night in Independence seeing a great ball game. It has lived up to all the hype here tonight. The Tigers lead it by 11 with a little bit over 4 minutes to go here, but this one still hangs in the balance, and they're trying to just keep the ball on the ground and run the football here.
And we'd also like to thank our boss, Ellie Wallace and Ken Benitez, for allowing us to do this. And without those two guys, we would not be able to bring you this, and we would not be able to have such a good time covering these high school ball games. So kudos out to Ellie Wallace and Ken Benitez.
And you know it's a big ball game when Ellie Wallace comes out to run the camera for you. Me and Marty might have just moved up to the #1 crew here. Tofield off the right side, cuts it back. They go for the strip, gets to the outside, and he runs out of bounds at the 31, stopping the clock, but they did pick up a first down. So a great run there by Tofield to get to the outside. One man had a shot at him, but went for the strip of the football, missed, and Tofield got the first down. 4:02 left to go here in the fourth quarter, and they're down at the 32-yard line.
So Independence did what they had to do, Darrell. They had to pick up a first down, and that's exactly what they do. So it looks like Independence is going to come away with the victory tonight, Darrell, in a hard-fought ball game and get the lead up on the district race.
Tigers again on 1st and 10 from the 32. The clock won't start until the ball is snapped. 4:02 to go in the fourth quarter. Tofield again up the middle, and he picks up about 6 yards. So right now, with the game in the balance, Independence doing what they need to do, running the football, opening holes for LeBrandon Tofield. They don't have to score here, but they just going to keep driving at the goal line and keep this clock running, as it is now with 3:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Pick up a good 5 yards on first down. It will bring up a second and a short 5, and look for him to go to the run once again and keep this clock moving, as it is ticking down now. 3.5 minutes to go in this game, and the Warriors can do nothing but just try to stop them here. They cannot score without the ball, and they need 2 scores to win, folks. Sieber will take the snap. hand the ball to Brandon Tofield up the middle once again, and first down inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. So they have contained him tonight. Only the one big run, but the young man, despite ankle problems, has played a fine ball game here, and it showed why he's one of the most heavily recruited players in this area as only a junior.
Well, Darrell, what LeBrandon Tofield does for you is he forces the defense to stop him first. So Amite had to give up something, and what they did is they focused on stopping Tofield, which they pretty much did, but they gave up a little too much in the passing game.
And Antron Siebert has made them pay here tonight. Under 3 minutes to go. Once again, Tofield off tackle, hit hard at the line of scrimmage by 66. Dedrick Taylor will pick up about 2 yards, but right now, it isn't about yardage. It's about the clock moving as we see Amite calling one more timeout with 2:34 to go in the game, down 11. And it's got to be a great feeling for this Tiger team. They thought they could beat Amite, but they had a lot of reservations come in. Amite thought they could win the ball game, but they made the 2 big turnovers, and that could be the difference in this ball game. But late down the stretch, when Amite needed to stop them, Independence has been able to get some first downs running the football, and we talked about the team that could run would win, and they've run just enough to open up the pass game and probably will win this football game as there's 2:34 to go in the fourth quarter. And what a fine job they have done, both teams tonight, as this has been a hard-fought battle. And the good thing about it for both teams, you know, you're still probably going to make the playoffs. Even though the losers' route to the Dome will be a little harder, they still got a good shot as these are 2 of the best teams around. So second down and 8 yards to go from the 17-yard line. I'm going to step out on a limb here. They're going to hand the ball off to Tofield. All right, Antron, make me look good. Hand it off here. And what do? Tofield up the middle will pick up another first down as the Independence offensive line is firing off the ball, opening some holes. So the clock ticking now. Around 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. It will be first and goal for the Tigers at the 8-yard line, clock running. And they pretty much have done what they need to do in this last possession, Marty, as they have just driven it down the throats of the Warriors defense, a valiant defense, but have been on the field entirely too long here in the second half.
Yes, they have. They've done a great job of containing Tofield, but they're just going to come up a little short tonight, but there'll be better days for Amite. But you got to tip your hats for Independence. They came and did what they had to do.
Tofield all tackle, dragging people down to about the 4-yard line. Clock moves inside 2 minutes, about 1 minute and 49, and it is still running. So this game will be over with shortly, folks, as the Tigers have come out and done the job tonight. Amite played a fine ball game, made a couple of mistakes, and the Tigers made them pay. So they will move up to 6-0, and we will see them once again next week as they play Albany. And Albany right now is 0-6, not a very good season for them, but the one thing that they have going for them, it's got to be a letdown coming off this big emotional win. Maybe they can catch them flat and make a ball game out of it. So Tigers with 1:15 to go in the game. Siebert taking all the time will turn and probably hand to Tofield. He does once again. Young man is stacked up at the line by number 64. Nathan Thomas brings up third down and goal, but the clock now at 1 minute and counting. And right now it doesn't matter if they score or not. They're going to run 2 more plays, and this game's going to be over with. The Tigers will win it. And a lot of celebrating going on here at Tiger Stadium as the fans now realize that it's over. And I got to tell you something, folks. It is electric around here. And I tell you what, when the clock kicks is up 0-0, you're going to see pandemonium around here as they wanted this game badly. A huge rivalry against the Amite Warriors. And the Tigers have done it. Clock ticking down to 30 seconds. Antron Siebert turns. He fakes the ball. Will keep it. Rolls to the left. Will not get in. Gets knocked down and the clock will run, and that will probably be the final play of this game. The Independence Tigers has done it as we see Coach Baggs lifted up by some of his assistants. What a great feeling. This is what high school football is all about. They will go to midfield, shake hands, know that both teams played hard and both had a chance to win the ball game, but the Tigers come out on top 30-19.
And like I say, they did their job. Independence came out on top. Both coaches came in with great game plans. but one team had to come up a little short tonight, and unfortunately, it was Amite. So Independence comes away with a 30-19 victory, Darrell, and congratulations to Coach Baglio, congratulations to Coach Career. A very well-played game, and for Darrell Smith, Ellie Wallace, I'm Marty Morgan. Final score from Independence. Independence Tigers 13 and the Amite Warriors 19.